and aware. Or, if we were Skynet, that would be a thing. But since we're not, this must be Keystroke Medium's Ask the Editor with Ellen Campbell, where someone asked her to shred their document, pull it apart, find all the good bits, discard all the bad bits, and, walk away with a flamethrower and explosions in the background. Ellen, how are you?
I'm good, Walt. How are you? Got a little singed on this one.
You look marvelous. We don't see the burn marks, but we do see these marvelous No Safe Word shirts. Where can people find those?
I will put a link in the show notes. There will be a link on my website if you want. Just so you know, the way I've got it set up. I am not making anything. You're getting them at the cost price from this vendor.
Right on.
Because frankly, if you want to wear one of my shirts, I think that's cool as hell.
Nice. We should have one made where there's a giant Ellen on the back.
They don't offer that. I wish they did. Oh well.
Well, we won't judge them for now. We'll have to get them to step up their game. So Speaking of stepping up the game, we have a document to shred, yes?
Yes, we do.
Please take the stage and take it away.
Going to. All right. Here is the sample as I received it. It's in Times New Roman, which is good. It's single spaced, which is terrible. And I know all y'all think it's hilarious that we're asking for double space. And who cares? It's just stupid. Comic Sans, single space, 46 point, whatever. This is why it needs to be double spaced. I mean, I couldn't even fit this in with the double. See what I'm saying?
There's a lot going on in this document.
Okay, but I digress. Okay, so this is the sample as I received it. Just about 500. And these are the problems that jumped out. I'm going to put a link to these pictures in the show notes so that you can, at your leisure. Here's the key for, and I'm gonna kind of bounce ahead and specific problems. Okay. This first edit section is showing you the comments. Second edit section is showing you the edits, and we're gonna start. And the change is accepted. Blah blah blah. We're gonna start right here. Okay, the original sentence read, Kayla's stepbrother Lauren grumbled, running a hand over his face as she pulled the second to last quill. Okay. And here's my comments. It's a big comment for a little bitty sentence. There are a couple things going on. The actual tag, Lauren grumbled, it's the actual tag right there, is buried in a lot of pointless stages. Okay. So running a hand over, and how is he running a hand over his face as she's pulling quills? So I just kind of took it point by point and broke the problems with the sentence. Is it necessary to say Kayla's stepbrother? And this isn't the beginning of the story. The characters have all been introduced. Saying Kayla's stepbrother Lauren is repetitive. And is repetitive and boring, and it clutters up the sample. And in this particular sample of 5 words, Lauren's name was mentioned 7 times. Let's check that.
So there's a lot of Lauren going on in this.
There's a lot of Lauren and a lot of Kayla. Okay. Stop screwing around. Now, the person that wrote this, I know, had they taken the time to had just finished it and submitted it. Had they taken the time, they would have caught some of this themselves. Do feel free to go back and look over this comment, because I get sarcastic and I'm kind of pretty good here. Like right here, the men around her gathered from checking on their horse. Okay, that's just somebody changed the sentence midstream and forgot to go back and change the beginning, or something's wrong with that. And she would have caught that had she read it back, or had she had the time to go back through it and self-edit, because you don't want to send this to your editor. You don't want me working on this, fixing. You want me working on, something else, something, making your, yeah, I had an example from something I worked on today, but making your sentence that says, Kayla swallowed as Lauren stood in front. Sister, he glared, step aside. You want me to be changing that to looming menacing instead. So you don't want me fixing silly mistakes. You want me working on massaging style and flow. Okay, that's all of the close-up I'm going to give you today. But like I said, I will post links to these documents. You can go look at them yourself, look at the key, see what I've broken down, see the things I had to say. And that's our shred for today.
Nice. So with you have me
Boom.
So with something like this, we had a very lovely series of exposés on certain programs that you can use before you send something to an editor. Would that have picked out repetitive words or mistakes that?
Some of them would have. Yeah, some of them would have. Would have combed them out for you had you used them. Some of them wouldn't. My list, you could check my list, which is free and available to you over on the Facebook page. You can take a look at it, and that would have helped. But like in this case, when the problem is the main character's name is being, or the secondary character's name, anybody's name is being repeated, you're not necessarily going to know to look for that, and it's not going to be on my list. And then everybody has their own certain specific things that, everybody has their own individual on top of the commons. So.
Right on. And people can go right to Keystroke Medium and find that expose of breakdowns that we did for judging what's a good program to use and what's not a good program to use. And hopefully if you use one of those, you can get a cleaner manuscript to your editor so that they're, like you said, you're there to massage style and flow. You shouldn't be there to... my mistake on one of my documents was I kept writing loose instead of lose because I was typing so fast and I had autocorrect on, so it kept autocorrecting for me and I wasn't catching it. And when you're under a deadline, you might not read it as well as you should.
Right. Yeah. And if you think I don't know that, you're crazy.
Right on.
The last thing your editor wants to hear is like, "Oh God, okay, I just got this done last night, just in time to send it to you." I'm happy for that.
At that point, do you also include a tip sheet to tip your editor?
I should.
Right.
We call that scope creep, Mister, and triple.
Well, we try not to judge. It doesn't. We judge.
No, I get paid to judge, Walt.
Yeah. You get paid to judge. I get paid to pray that it isn't as bad. So that has been Ellen Shreds on Ask the Editor. Do you have any parting thoughts before we call it a podcast?
Yeah, keep sending us your documents. Keep sending us your questions because we can't do this without.
Excellent. Make sure to check us out every Tuesday on Keystroke Medium. You can find this and other shows on the Keystroke Medium YouTube page. You can go and find them on Podbean and also on the Facebook group where you can interact with some of the creators and some of the talent, such as Ellen, who keeps creating. There's that English again. And there we go.
I never get phone calls unless I'm doing this.
Like I said, you might judge, but we don't. Thanks, Ellen.
Thanks, Paul. Bye.